Anybody want to know about alternative treatments? St. John's wort, omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil, SAMe, have you heard of those things? The long and short of it is, I think St. John's wort, it works for mild depression, but it doesn't work as well as the antidepressants for the more moderate to severe depression. There was a recent study by, I think it was the NIMH, National Institute of Mental Health, showing that. So I probably wouldn't recommend that one. The other reason is because it interacts with a lot of other medicines, especially transplant medicines that folks use for transplants and different things. Omega-3 fatty acids, on the other hand, fish oil, it sounds funny. Okay, I'll grant you, it sounds funny. Taking fish oil? What you talking about, Doc? A lot of cardiologists use that for cardiovascular health, but I think what's good for the heart is good for the brain. And actually, the studies have shown that it helps IQ in kids in the developing brain. So just recently, if you notice, they're starting to put these, it's DHA is one of them, and they're starting to put those in infant formula now. Europeans have been doing it for a long time. Why didn't we get on the ball? I don't know. But they studied the kids that got formula with DHA in it in Europe versus the kids here that didn't get the DHA in their formula. IQs were a little higher over there. So we got to start thinking about some of these things. And even though they seem kind of alternative and everything else, I mean, it's oil from a fish. You eat salmon, you're probably going to get some of this stuff. But you can take capsules as well, and there's probably less likelihood of mercury from the capsules than there is from the actual fish. Those are fairly safe. I don't know of any side effects from those other than just having to take them and that kind of stuff. Fairly inexpensive as well, probably cheaper than antidepressants. The problem is we don't know how much to give. So one of the studies was with 9,000 milligrams, which is 9 capsules. Well, okay, but that's a lot to take, right? These are kind of big, And but I don't know. I mean, nobody knows if 200 or 500 or, I don't know. I mean, I would say try a couple a day and see if it makes a difference. It incidentally would work sort of like antidepressants. It wouldn't be an immediate thing. None of these things will be immediate. Even the St. John's wort. It'll take a while to work.
SAMe, what is that?
SAMe is another one. And actually the studies on that one have shown that it's equally effective to antidepressants in high doses. A lot of times when people want to take something over the counter, it stands for S-adenylmethionine or something like that. It's a big chemical name, and it's also something that the brain needs to work the way it should. And sometimes we get it out of our diets, and sometimes not. Depending on like the fish thing's the same thing. People who eat a lot of fish don't have as much depression and things. So part of it's where we live, and we just don't eat much fish in the Midwest. We eat steaks, There's no DHA in steaks, And SAMe, the problem with it is that you need high doses of it, and it's just as expensive as antidepressants by the time you get the over-the-counter dose that would work for you. But side effect-wise, I mean, if you're having trouble, you could always ask your doctor. A lot of times the doc will just say, "What? SAMe? What's that?" Doctors, I hear about this stuff through patients, and then I go look it up. That's how I know about it. I mean, you guys are better than me at searching the internet and finding all this stuff out, Somehow, I guess there's more of you. Maybe that's what it is. But, personal opinion is SAMe is probably okay, but any of these things, you probably ought to tell your doctor you're taking them, because there's no telling. I mean, nobody knows if, like St. John's wort had a lot of studies with it. That's how we know it interacts with other medicines. SAMe, we don't know. Probably fish oil, I don't know how that would interact with the medicine, but...
I think it's 6 a day for 3 years or more, and I don't know other than burping fish.
Of the fish oil? Yeah. Well, that's the only side effect I know of.
I've never had any side effects from it.
Yeah, and I don't think there would be any side effects from it. It's bad. It's like eating salmon. I mean, it's really the same thing. So, and a lot of folks are on at least 1,000 from a cardiologist. I have a lot of patients that have heart disease that are on the fish oil, and I find out about it, and I say, hey, you're also having depression. Why don't we up that a little bit? The cardiologist will probably be pleased, So I don't think you can go wrong with that. I mean, I don't want to tell everybody to go out and start taking fish oil or anything, but certainly worth a shot, I suppose. I mean, if you can't afford Prozac or some other medicine, But the other thing is, don't ever do that if you're having, severe depression. You definitely have to see the physician to make sure you're not missing a thyroid problem or some other problem. Okay? Any other questions? Guys, we're doing pretty good. Only one guy fell asleep out there, I saw. It's pretty hot in this room, I'll tell you. So thanks very much. And next month, I guess we're going to talk about dementia. Does that sound all right to you guys? It'll be about Alzheimer's, and then there's also other kinds of dementia besides Alzheimer's. So I'll talk about those too. There's Parkinson's and Lewy body disease and vascular dementia and different things. So we'll talk about all that then. Thanks for coming, everybody.